Hi guys, and welcome back to Marie's Acrylic and Gel Nails. Today I'm going to be working with some netting and this is just some lace. But I found this netting in Spotlight here in Australia. Now, like this one, I've given this away of competition. Some of you in competitions may have found that these holographic stars lose their holographicness if you're not careful when you're placing them on the nail. So I'm going to show you how to do it and not lose it. And then I've got these are felty ones. They feel beautiful. Same thing, you've got to be careful, they'll run. And then I've just got a plain netting that I might do like a snake design on, and like I said, the lace. So I'm going to break it up in over 5 nails. I'm not going to do them all at once because my videos tend to be long enough as it is. So for starters, we are going to start on this thumb. And normally what I would do with coloured acrylic is put down a very, very light base of clear. In this case I'm going just to use the Radiant Pink, just so it doesn't stain the nail, and it gives some protection, like when you're coming down later to change colours out. You know, you're not filing colour off natural nail. So on this one I will treat this particular one as if it was a human finger. I hope I didn't get acrylic under there. Yeah, I'll treat it as a human finger just so you can see what my steps would be. But the others I'm just going to put colour down. So there we go. We have our nice Radiant Pink base. As you can see, it's fairly clear. It's got a slight pink tinge. So I'm going to be using Anasai Technicolor, and this one is called Amethyst, and this one here is called Plum. So I'm going to open up the Amethyst, which is a really pretty glitter, and the Plum. So I'm going to grab a medium bead of the Amethyst. Look at that, such a pretty colour, and I bet my camera just will not do this justice. Now I'm going to fade the two colours into each other and then put the lace on top. So this stage, what I'm looking for is, say, more solid glitter down around the cuticle, and I'm just gently fading it out. I am going to make it, just grab another pearl, take some of the fluid out of the back of my brush and make it a bit more solid here. It's such a beautiful colour. So with that done, and I'm finished with that, so I am putting on the lid. I am going to grab my purple And I've put down a really, really light coverage of it. Okay, see that? It's really thin coverage of the actual coloured. Then, because I like to work in stages with my colours, I'm going to grab a smaller bead and I'm going to place it down here, down closer at the tip. I've taken a lot of the liquid out of my brush and I'm going to start stroking it out and forming a definite line of colour, but ombre at the same time. So it's just about applying small amounts at a time and working slowly up to that darker fade. You see that? Here behind it. I've got a really definite, I hope the camera picks it up, fade effect. And like I said, small beads really, really work well in doing that. So what I'm going to do now, because I know I'm having troubles with getting stuff setting, is I'm going to pick the part of my lace I want on the nail and how I want to place it on the nail, and I'm going to now squeeze it on so we can all see that. I'm going to give it a, oops, of course that would do that, and it's I hate that when that does that. Okay, so once I'm happy with that, what I'm going to do is grab my scissors, and I'm not going to cut too closely. Sharper scissors would have been better for the tutorial. Well, you get that. Okay, so as you can see, I'm still just keeping what I want. I'm just taking very minimal or the excess off. And just grab this little bit around the tip. Like so. I still want enough that if I want to, I can manipulate Okay, so we've got that sitting on there. I'm going to grab Now my Radiant Pink. I'm going to place the ball just there. I'm going to wipe my brush off and make sure get a little bit more. Oh no, it's so. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to encapsulate my lace. Now I don't want this encapsulation to be too thick, and at the same time I've got to be careful that I don't get it where I need to cut off. Now the tips that I am using in this tutorial I got off some seller on eBay, so they're not the best tips, stiletto tips, but to have a muck around with and a play, they're okay. So I'm fairly happy with that. I'm just going to quickly, without moving the acrylic too much, cut off that known excess. Make sure you clean your scissors as you go. You don't want acrylic, if you do pick up any, drawing on them. Grab that little bit there too. Okay, so down on this line down here on the side, I'm just going to wet my brush in my melanoma. Make sure that that side is nicely encapsulated and sitting down flush. And the same with this side. Now there's a little bit more excess there. I can feel it. I'm just going to come up next to the nail. And I'm just going to trim it away like that. And don't be afraid of the wet acrylic and your scissors, ladies. They clean off beautifully. Okay, that's my scissors. I'm going to be able to use them again. So I'm just going to give that a press down. And I'm going to grab a little bit and make sure you're really careful with these sides when you're putting the lace and stuff on, that you do really encapsulate it well. Worst case scenario, you might use a drill. But when I'm filing later, I don't want exposed lace So I'm pretty happy with that now. What I'm waiting now is for it to dry, and then I can file it. And you guys can see the end result. But picking the lace where I'm going to have this really deep little purple little heart on the end of my nail, and it's going to look super, super cute. So I'm going to pause the camera and I shall be back. Okay, welcome back, guys. So I've just given my nail a quick file, and I'm just at the minute fixing up my shape of my tip. Okay, because I know I've heard in my last video it really makes a big noise, so I will buff. And I'll get my sponge buffer. And I'll give this a bit of a buff. Now make sure with these nails, like, you look underneath. I'll zoom in. Get really close. Can you see here? Right, just there. Oops. Come back a bit. So, get the dust off. This mark just here. Okay, that's a little bit of the lace that it has lost its encapsulation. So, wow, tongue-tied for a minute there. What I'm going to do to rectify that problem is that when I top coat, I will run my top coat underneath. Okay, so give the nail a really good dust. And let's give it a wipe. Because I haven't been doing that. And honestly, when I am doing these practice nails, I am a little bit slack about these steps. So sorry, guys. Oh, that is pretty. Can you see how the lace looks like a heart? And the ombre flows really well up the nail. It's going to look awesome. So I will get out my top coat. That's not... yeah, let's use the glaze and go. Next nail I'll use the gel sealant, because it is just going to make the glitter and the lace. How's that for a pretty nail? So yeah, when you're filing, make sure that you check underneath and what's happened, because customer doesn't want any pieces of fabric, I can tell you here and now, little bits of fluff, because as the nail starts to age, that fluff is going to cause them problems, which they don't want. You don't want if you're just doing it for yourself. So, and besides that, if you do something very similar to what I've just done, please show me. I am on Facebook. It's now Marie Downs, but that is my nail page, and you can find me there, and I'm happy for you to show me and share with me if you copy this design. So I'll put it in to dry and I'll show you the finished result. Yeah, so if you like this nail, please, 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 please share this video, and subscribe, and I'd love to have another competition for you guys, and I think I'm going to wait to do that competition and leave it until I reach 100 subbies. And when I reach another 100 subbies, which would take me up to 304, I think, I will run a really, really cool competition, because MSI has just released their new LED cured gels, and they've released a new acrylic that is apparently super, super, super fine. So if I can reach, 300, we'll discuss it then, and I'll do a really, really cool giveaway. So the Glaze and Go takes 90 seconds, which we should be at. I said it too long. We are. And remember, for all you women out there who are using Glaze and Go, Glaze and Go was designed for 36 watt UV and LED lamps. So if you're having trouble with your Glaze and Go setting, remember that your lightage may be a problem. If you've only got a 9 watt UV or LED, that's what your issue is, because it sets in 90 seconds under a 36 watt bulb. So there you go, guys. There is the pretty nail I completed now with the lace. I will be back soon next time, and we will do another netted, well, we will definitely be doing a netted design. Until then, keep safe, and I'll talk to you later.